Hello loves, welcome back to TigeraGitana. Today we are going to be doing the solar eclipse astro breakdown in Sagittarius that is coming up on December 14th. So I'm going to go over where the planets are going to be on this day, and what aspects are happenings, and I'll be giving you guys some spell recommendations as to what I think that you guys should be working with as well. But yeah, let's just get right in. Let's just get started. So first I'm going to break down the sun, not the sun, but the planet positionings. So the sun will be in Sagittarius, the moon will be in Sagittarius, Mercury will be in Sag as well. So that's 3 in Sag, okay? Venus will still be in Scorpio, Mars will still be in Aries, Jupiter will still be in Capricorn, Saturn will still be in Capricorn, Uranus will be in Taurus, still in retrograde, Neptune is in Pisces, Pluto will still be in Capricorn, okay? So, starting right off the bat, the fact that there's less, especially now that there are planets that have now gone direct, which is nice because we are coming to really close to the end of the year. And so when we have this kind of like push to kind of move forward versus like look back, reflect back, heal backwards, and really have like just that magnet focus on the past, be like lifted slightly bit so you can start to think about the future, what you want to do, how you want to move forward, what's coming up, how you want to address it, all of these type of things. I feel like it's definitely really important right now to make sure that we are still working with the energy of the time. And because we're getting so close to the end of the year, a lot of people's focus is going to be in 2021 this, 2021 that. There's a lot of set expectations for 2021, and it can be like a kind of like a thing. So I do feel like for the most of us collectively, which will be more of a focus in 2021, even though you can say that 2020 was a very much a collective focus. However, 2021 and the years that come moving forward are going to be very collective heavy. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot, and I do think that right now it's important for us to work with the energy the best that we can right now. So right off the bat, the sun is in a conjunction with the moon. Obviously, the sun is also in a conjunction with Mercury, and the moon is in a conjunction with Mercury because obviously all of those are in Sagittarius. So we have the sun, moon, and Mercury really working nicely together, really supporting each other. So you're going to be able, especially if you're working any type of spell work during this day, not only will you be centered mentally, but also emotionally. And also your willpower and your ego will be in alignment with that. So you will definitely feel more centered in your work, the work that you're doing. And it's not like one part of you is saying, I don't know if this is right. It's kind of like your mind is saying this is right, your emotions are saying is it right, and you internally feel like it is right to do X, Y, Z, and B, whatever work that you want to do for that day. So there is a level of support that we're feeling from ourselves, but also like energetically, we are feeling a little bit more supported. We are feeling a little bit more in alignment because we have a lot of Sagittarian energy. Sag can be very much about looking at and also taking from so much knowledge from all different areas and understanding different perspectives, understanding why some people do things a certain way, how that could be beneficial, how you can adopt different practices that other people do into your own like kind of psyche in order to better yourself, and to be not just more well-rounded, but also like a better version of you. So there is this kind of level of like self it's almost like a self-balancing in many ways. It like reminds me, it takes me back to like tarot, where Temperance is a card of Sagittarius, which is like, it has this little bit of a water bearing moment, because you see this angel pouring like this one cup to the other. It's just really like tempering and balancing yourself out, especially if you're having a lot of your energy being so focused on one specific area of your life, understanding that you need to calibrate and be balanced in all areas of your life, not just one side. So Sagittarius energy, really, because it's so open to like the world, it's so open to learning, it's curious, it's very adventurous, and it gets lucky when you kind of allow yourself to be curious. When it's in Sagittarius energy, if you allow yourself to kind of, you know, look and search and, you know, let your imagination or your intuition kind of drive you into certain directions, you will find that you can get lucky in certain situations. You'll just be like, whoa, I can't believe I scored that deal, or I can't believe, you know, I learned that today. I was just kind of searching this thing, I clicked on that person's profile and they said a word that I didn't understand, so I googled it, and that threw me into a whole nother area of like something that I would have never searched before. So it's all about tapping into your curiosity and allowing yourself to be balanced out with the world. So it's a very beautiful energy, and it does definitely help us feel more aligned when it comes to spell work. Now, because the sun, moon, and Mercury are in Sagittarius, I will highly recommend fire magic for this specific solar eclipse, especially because Sag is a fire sign, and a lot of the energy that it has gets expressed through its passion. It gets very passionate about the things it believes, or the things that it kind of loves to kind of dive into, and it's curious about or studying about. So I would tell you to definitely tap into your solar plexus energy, and I will definitely tell you to work some fire magic. It will be definitely 1000% really good for this specific solar eclipse. And if you are going to do any type of kind of spell work, I would say make sure you do it as like a practice. Like if you are doing like one thing, try to do that specific spell work for 3 days. Give yourself a specific like routine for it, because there's something about threes that's talking to me from looking at this chart. There's something about the number 3, and there's something about practicing it again and again. I think that if you consistently, especially because again, half the chart is still Earth. Okay, the generational planets are still majorly Earth signs, with the exception of Neptune, which is in Pisces, but still lends to spirituality, because Neptune and Pisces rule spirituality in astrology. And so when you have this kind of like foundation of tradition, and then when it came to solar eclipses, if you look back in ancient times, there were rituals that lasted for days on, especially when there were moments like this, like when there was a lunar eclipse, solar eclipse. There were rituals that would last days, because you would be captivating and cultivating in that time your intentions and the manifestations that they wanted to work on. And so I do feel like, and what my spirit is telling me to communicate with you guys, what spirit is telling me is to practice whatever spell or ritual you're planning to do it for 3 days. That's what I'm recommending and what I'm communicating to you guys for that one. But yeah, there's something about the number 3 that's coming up hard for this solar eclipse. And I'm not surprised, because I mean, if you think about it, we're getting close to the end of the year. New Year kind of energy brings up a lot of road opening work. That's when we start getting into Capricorn season, and like goals, and then setting, and then running, and then going to the next, and climbing the mountain and stuff like that. You have to clear a path on that mountain first, so you have to kind of set intention. I do feel like there's this kind of road opening moment that's kind of coming up for us, and it's on us to capitalize on that as well. So how do you plan on capitalizing on that road opening that is happening at the same time? The next one that we're going to talk about is Sun trine Mars. So the sun will definitely be supported by Mars for this solar eclipse, which is really, really nice, because Mars is in Aries. So you have the sun being in Sag, Mars being in Aries, fire helping fire, fire sustaining fire, fire building towards fire, Mars saying, hey, you know what? You're in alignment to do this. I'm gonna help you tap into your passion and your drive to make that thing happen. I do feel like manifestations that are done during this particular solar eclipse, if it comes from your heart and if it comes from that like solar plexus, if it's in alignment with who you are, what you need to do, I 1000% feel like it will manifest, and it will manifest very quickly. Why? Because Sag energy, Jupiter energy is very lucky. It's all about expansion and expanding that which you already, you know, you already, the space that you're already in, expanding that, multiplying that. And so there is this kind of energy of luck and opportunity if it's something that you're passionate about. If it's something that, you know, you're just not, it just ain't it, and you're just kind of trying to make it a thing and it's not a thing, and you're really trying to kind of like, I kind of want to work on this because it can make me money, but like you know inside your soul that it's not it, like it's not what you're supposed to be doing, then that's going to make it really hard for you to progress moving forward. So make sure that whatever it is that whatever it is your intention is, it has to be something that you are passionate about 1000%. This is great for creatives, especially now that Neptune is in Pisces and is direct. This is great for creatives if you are a writer, a musician, artist of any capacity. This is great for that because it helps you really move forward with your art, with your artistry and your work that you're doing, and putting it out there and in a different way, and actually being able to tap into the masses in a different way. So definitely make sure that you are looking at your intentions and having those intentions be in alignment with your spirit, with who you are and what you're meant to do in this lifetime. 10,000%. Now, the sun will be squaring Neptune for the solar eclipse, and I do feel like this is going to give it a little bit of sass, just a tiny bit. I do feel like there is a sense of okay, I'll break it down this way. So the sun, which is your ego, your willpower, your inner child, will be squaring, okay, which is fighting. A square is like when the planets are not getting along, they're in a fight to the death. Maybe not to the death, but they're not getting along, okay? And so it's fighting Neptune, which is a planet of the subconscious mind, illusions, dreams, spirituality. And so you do have a couple of different triggers coming up. I do feel like the way that this is going to get communicated is 1000%. Some people will be getting downloads, especially because the moon is also squaring Neptune. And Mercury is also squaring Neptune. So I do feel like some people are going to be getting downloads through their dreams, whether it's almost like a in a nightmare kind of dream, or where like they're feeling like they don't have any control, or feeling like there's an angst going on, or like getting different messages that are like really showing the true colors of it all, especially if you are doing something that's not in alignment with who you are and you're trying to kind of force it because you're trying to make money or whatever the case may be. Your subconscious mind is going to haunt you during the next, I would say within the next couple of like once it starts getting closer to the solar eclipse, you're gonna start feeling that energy. It's getting almost like there's a haunting kind of going on, which is gonna be kind of feeling a little bit weird, and especially because Neptune is such a like elusive kind of like mysterious energy. You're like, why am I getting these downloads? Why am I dreaming about this? What is the message? What is really going on? There's gonna be certain things that are gonna trip you up, or you're gonna be dreaming about like something that you kind of wish you shouldn't have been dreaming. Like you might have been dreaming of an ex, or you might be dreaming of someone or something, like just a situation that causes you a little bit of like just a shakedown within your spirit, and it doesn't feel all that great. There is like this kind of Neptune wanting to trigger your emotions and trigger your mind a little bit. And I do feel like if you use the energy correctly, you can allow yourself to get inspired, because even when Neptune's energy is getting triggered in a kind of weird way, where and Neptunian energy 1000% can be 1000% weird, because sometimes it doesn't make any sense. When it's triggered in a very weird way, you still have to search for the truth within the message. There's still something hidden that needs to be kind of investigated, instead and like dive just diving into it a little bit more, instead of being like, oh my God, I had a dream of my ex and he was telling me, I don't know, this, and you're just getting caught up in the fact that you dream about your ex, but you're forgetting what he was trying to tell you in the dream. So it's kind of like this weird delivery of sorts. There's a weird gray area which you might not know how to kind of navigate. And what my recommendation for that is not to fight it, is just to seek for the truth. Go into Scorpio mode, because, and listen, Venus is still in Scorpio, which is great because it gives us that energy of kind of like wanting to know why, but don't get lost in the outer details of things. Try to look for what the message is. What is the truth of the matter? What is the reality? How did that trigger you? How did that make you feel? How did this person trigger you to grow? What were they actually trying to tell you? What were they saying? What were the words? What they were saying remind you of? What is it linked to? Like, try to actually look for the meaning, instead of like being like, oh my God, I had a dream and I feel so emotional about it, and I'm like getting triggered and mentally like buzzing and all that stuff, because that's what Neptune's just gonna be like. I'm just sitting here trying to do this, and your ego, your mind, and your emotions are gonna be like, woo, woo. Like, don't let yourself go crazy. The best that you can do is try to seek for the truth and address it in a way that's you're just analyzing the messages, rather than trying to kind of create this kind of whole nother narrative in order for your ego to be like calm in any type of way. Like, it's not about that. It's about ultimately us being in a better place, especially when it comes to us being in alignment, because that's really what's important. Now, the other one that we're going to be talking about is Moon trine Mars, because obviously Moon and Mercury are also trining Mars. So there is definitely this support that's happening. So when it comes to like the faster moving generational planets, you do have a lot of them just supporting each other and having this kind of like I'm helping you, you're helping me. Oh, my mind, I feel very clear on this, and like emotionally I also feel very clear on this. There's just like the support happening within those planets, which is really, really great, because it will help you get through the energy. Since solar eclipses, lunar eclipses can be a little bit intense, especially solar eclipses can be very intense. There will be a lot of fire energy, so you might need to like, you know, get out, go on a run, do some yoga, you know, do some exercise, just to take off some of the little like the anxiety off the steam, because it can feel a little bit, it can be a little bit too much. Again, if you will let fire kind of do its thing, it's gonna burn everything down. So there needs to be some release with that as well. Because Venus is in Scorpio, I do recommend doing some sacral chakra work. That's like the most PG I can make it for YouTube. But I do recommend, if you want to, you can do some manifestations in that way, as far as working with your sacral chakra and tapping into Sagittarius energy in order to manifest through your womb space. Highly recommend doing so. It's a very powerful thing to do, and I do feel like it ultimately it just changes it changes things, because you're able to use your own womb, your conductor, which is why I always call it, your womb is your conductor. Your sacral chakra is where you conduct and manifest from. And so when you're using this energy to say, okay, this is what I'm calling in, this is what I'm in alignment with, and you're able to take it up to using your sacral space in that way, that those manifestations can be very, very powerful. So I do recommend doing either fire, any type of fire magic, fire elemental magic, or doing some sacral chakra work as well, because trust, especially, I mean, we do have a Venus sextile in Jupiter, which does help Venus to have this like nice, you know, connection to Jupiter's energy, especially because Jupiter is in Capricorn. So a lot of the intentions that need to be set can happen in this kind of like sensual way. It's the most PG I can make it for YouTube, but what can we do? But it is important to still remember that the generational planets, and I say this in every like video because it's true, okay, until it changes, it's gonna be true. The generational planets are still majorly in earth signs, so we do still have this grounding, this support, until we have this shift that's happening in this December, with Jupiter and Saturn, because both will be going into Aquarius, which is gonna be something else. But Jupiter is still in a conjunction with Saturn. Jupiter's in conjunction with Pluto, and Saturn's in a conjunction with Pluto as well, because they're all in Capricorn. So they're all supporting each other through this time. So while the fire is doing all of this thing, the generational planets are very much like grounded, like centered, grounded. This is what it is. This is what the line is, period. You know, like it's a very grounding situation. So definitely make sure that you understand that whatever intention you're making shouldn't be for the short term. And I've been saying that for the past few videos, but you guys know it's true. It shouldn't be a short-term intention. You should be setting an intention for longer term, whether it's for 2021 or the next 5, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, because trust and believe it will go down that way. So yeah, that is pretty much my breakdown for this solar eclipse. It's going to be a very beautiful solar eclipse. Please use it properly. I will definitely see you loves in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to check out the Patreon, because we're always learning and growing over there. It will be down in the link below. Also, don't forget to sign up for the workshop, because tickets are almost sold out, okay? And I want to make sure everybody who wants to come can come through. So make sure you come up, sign up for the end of the year wrap up workshop that we're doing. It's gonna be on the first day of Capricorn season, and it's just gonna be a beautiful Jupiter and Saturn conjunction in Aquarius, and it's gonna be really powerful, and I'm really excited. So yeah, definitely make sure you sign up before it sells out, because I want to make sure everybody that wants to be there, it can be there. Okay, I will see you loves in the next one. Bye.